today. We've got a Chicago Bulls and Boston Celtics game reaction in which the Chicago Bulls fought, and they fought, and they fought, and DeMar DeRozan with his absolute spectacular performance, we kept in this game, we kept on fighting, we took it to the limit against the Boston Celtics. Unfortunately, we walk away with a loss, a very tough loss to swallow. Again, some of these losses are fairly frustrating because we are in the game for so much of the game, and you do feel like you have chances to walk away with the win, and we kept on battling. We cut it to 2 late in the fourth quarter, but unfortunately it just was not meant to be. The Chicago Bulls do lose this game. It was a very good game nonetheless, a bit of a frustrating one. We'll get into everything in this video, but before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the overall play of the Chicago Bulls. Who was your player of the game, which would be a fairly easy one in today's game, and your overall thoughts and opinions on how well or how poorly we played. We won this game 100. We lost this game. Sorry. I've been used to saying we win. We lost this game 123 to 119. Again, a bit of a frustrating game, but at the end of the day, I'm going to give credit to the Chicago Bulls for fighting. We've had a very tough schedule so far, as have, I'm sure, most other teams. I'm not saying that that's an excuse as to why we lost. I'm not putting any excuses on that. I think Boston played the better basketball at the end of the day, and they deserve to win. But I want to give credit to this Bulls team for fighting. I don't think I've seen that much fight in a team in a long time, especially from our point of view. Usually when we win, yes, we're battling, we're fighting, but today, all the odds seem stacked against us. Boston had so many free throws, had so many foul calls called against us, and it was a very frustrating watch. But we battled, we fought hard. And you've got to give a shout out to DeMar DeRozan for that. You've got to give a shout out to Nikola Vucevic for that. You've got to give a shout out to the team for just keeping on battling, trying to do some good things defensively. This is a game, in my opinion, against 2 top teams. Boston are a great team, and I am starting to believe now, even after this loss, the Bulls can be a top team in the Eastern Conference. I really am starting to believe that, and I'm hoping that they can continue to prove me right. Yes, it is in a loss, and again, a loss is a loss. We're going to have to take that. Bulls fans are not going to be happy with that and everything of that nature, but I do believe we can be a strong team going forward. I do believe even after this game we can be an elite team going forward. In my opinion, this game helps us solidify that, because Boston is not an easy team to beat. Even without Robert Williams, they're not an easy team to beat. They exposed us a lot in today's game. Their ability to spread the floor cost us big time. We had no paint production in terms of the defensive end. Our paint defense was awful once again in today's game. But for whatever reason, we kept on fighting in this game, and that's what we needed. We needed players to fight and players for in this game. So let's get started on some of the positives and the negatives. Obviously, the biggest positive is DeMar DeRozan damn near dropped 50 in this game to keep us in the game. Without DeMar DeRozan, we would easily have been blown out. Again, it's a terrific performance. I think we needed every single bit of his offense, and he should have started the fourth quarter in my opinion, but we saw him rest. We know the rotation. We know when DeMar's going to get his rest. We know when he's not going to, I guess, play. And unfortunately, in that fourth quarter, we were so close, and I think we needed DeMar DeRozan to play. And maybe if this was a playoff game, you would see DeMar DeRozan play the whole fourth quarter, and maybe we would have a different result in this game. But unfortunately, we saw DeMar DeRozan take his normal rest, and from there, the Bulls kind of lost the game. Again, it went out to double-digit leads, a couple turnovers. Zach LaVine couldn't do much in the game at that time as well. Frustrating in every sense of the word, but again, it is what it is. DeMar does have to rest eventually, and he took his rest, and that's when, I guess, the lead kind of became insurmountable. But we still fought. We still came back. Vucevic made some very timely threes, and I think even guys like Io made a difference. Zach LaVine towards the end made a difference, and I will give credit to this team for fighting. I know it's a frustrating loss. I know people are going to come at certain players and, I guess, target them for why we lost, and each to their own. You could do whatever you like, but this team fought very hard away from home against Boston, who were in the NBA Finals, and we took it to the limit. And I think Boston is starting to respect the Chicago Bulls just a little bit more. A lot of people said that the Boston Celtics imploded in the last game that we versed them in. Now I'm starting to believe that we can actually keep up with some of these good teams and show what we're made of, and I really believe that. But it did come at a loss. I do want to say a couple of things as well. Obviously, Boston and their, I guess, bigger lineup in many ways did hurt the Chicago Bulls. I do not like seeing this small ball lineup. I do not like seeing, I guess, Derek Jones Jr. or Patrick Williams play at the center position alongside of multiple other guards. I don't think it works. And I guess this constant use of small ball is very, very frustrating because we have a center on this team in Tony Bradley that can play minutes on this team. And as much as I like Derek Jones Jr., as much as I like Patrick Williams and these guys playing a lot of minutes, being aggressive, everything like that, them at the center position I do not like, because we've seen Luke Kornet really hurt the Chicago Bulls today, and he's a former Bulls player, and we know his capabilities. He's not the strongest player out there, and we could have easily rectified that with playing Tony Bradley alongside of Luke Kornet. It wasn't an impossible feat to see. Tony Bradley can keep up with a guy like Luke Kornet. I fully believe that. But we're still just a constant use of small ball every single time. And it does hurt the Chicago Bulls, and it did hurt us in today's game. I disagree with Billy Donovan for not playing Tony Bradley in some small minutes of the game. I disagree with the constant use of small ball, and I think that was really, really frustrating in my opinion. Yes, I understand the versatility. I understand that we can switch more. I understand that it can cause problems when it's effective, but it wasn't effective today in my opinion. And I think our bench at the end of the day was one of the biggest reasons why we lost this game. The bench production of Boston was much better than the Chicago Bulls. Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White, all those guys had strong games. Grant Williams, Luke Kornet, they all made an impact, whereas for the Chicago Bulls, they made impacts, but it wasn't anywhere near enough. So that's something we've got to look at. And again, our bench has been the standout this year, so it's an off game, and I'm not going to say anything more or less than that. I'm not going to say this bench is awful based on one game. I believe if we verse the Boston Celtics tomorrow, let's say, our bench would be better. But unfortunately, our bench was not up to par as what we are usually accustomed to seeing from them. And I do think playing small ball played a factor in that. And I do want to come to the defense of Patrick Williams, ladies and gentlemen, one of our young players. I've been doing this YouTube thing for a long time, a lot longer than people may expect in all honesty. And I know how this works. I know people are going to come at Patrick Williams for having a bad game and everything of that nature, but I'm going to be here to defend Patrick Williams. Now, before I do, we will obviously have to talk about his stats real quick. So Patrick Williams had 7 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 from 9 from the field, 1 from 4 from the three-point line, -3 in terms of the plus-minus, and 4 turnovers in the game. A lot of traveling violations, and again, a lot of turnovers. He got 6 fouls as well. He got fouled out. This game is completely different, in my opinion, compared to all the other bad games we've seen Patrick Williams have. This is a bad game for Patrick Williams. We're not going to ignore that. He's probably going to be my must-improve and everything like that. We'll get to that later. But this is a completely different sight compared to what I saw from Patrick Williams at the start of the year. At the start of the year, Patrick Williams wasn't aggressive at all. He was very timid, wasn't grabbing rebounds, wasn't making an impact defensively or offensively, not taking shots, just a little bit, I guess, afraid of the ball, shy. I guess that could be the word that we could use for Patrick Williams. All of Patrick Williams' attempts today, all of his mistakes today, his turnovers, his fouls, everything of that nature, his missed shots, has come from him trying to be more aggressive. And at the end of the day, we cannot set a double standard on Patrick Williams. We cannot target him for being too aggressive or making mistakes in attempts to be aggressive and then target him for not being aggressive enough. There has to be a balance. There has to be a fine line. I'm going to defend Patrick Williams in this game because, yes, he got fouled out. He took a shot that ultimately, if it went in, the game changes and we might have a better chance, but the shot misses. Yes, he got a lot of traveling violations. He got a lot of turnovers, but that's in the pursuit of being aggressive. And I'm not going to blame a young player who still has a lot of inexperience in this league at 21 years old for being aggressive. I will implore Patrick Williams to keep on being aggressive because that's what we need from this team. We've seen it more times than not so far this season. When Patrick Williams is aggressive, we are a different team and we can win very good games. If he's trying to be aggressive against the Boston Celtics and he makes a few mistakes, I'm not going to say Patrick Williams is a guy that we should be looking to trade or Patrick Williams cost us the game. Because yes, that may be true. He did technically cost us the game, but I'm going to defend him and say, keep on going. Keep on pushing. Next game against Toronto, keep on being aggressive. Keep on taking your shots. Keep on being aggressive on the rebounding side. And at the end of the day, you will have more results where you're positive than negative. I'm not going to say this is just a typical Patrick Patrick Williams' performance from the first part of the season till now. It's completely different. This game from Patrick Williams was completely different, and I want to defend him. I think at the end of the day, his aggressiveness will benefit us in the future. I don't want this game affecting his aggressiveness in the next time out. I don't want him coming out next game and shooting 4 shots because he had one bad game against Boston. He's young, he's talented, and at the end of the day, more times than not, it will work out. So keep on going, Patrick Williams. I know a lot of people will come at you for this game. I've already seen it firsthand, and I'm going to defend him in this game. For the long term, a game like this, he will learn from. And if he continues to play at a high level, you won't see many games like that. So, yeah, a bit of a frustrating night, of course. Again, he did have a lot of mistakes, but I do believe at the end of the day, he can get past them. Maybe I'm wrong. I know a lot of people, if they think I'm wrong, they will let me know. And at the end of the day, that's their right. I will respect their opinion. If you just want to target out Patrick Williams as the reason why we lost, go ahead. If you're going to defend Patrick Williams, go ahead as well. Each to their own. I know how this works, but I'm going to be here and I'm going to be defending Patrick Williams. That's my stance on the situation, because I know a lot of people will not like his performance. Looking at the must improve again, as I said before, it's probably going to be Patrick Williams. I think at the end of the day, he did make a lot of mistakes, but keep on going. Keep on being aggressive. It's nothing else I'm going to say on terms of that situation. I'd rather him have a bad game in terms of aggressive pursuit than a bad game when he's doing little to nothing on the floor. I can live with those mistakes. I can live with the fact that we lost this game. I just want him to keep going because the future of Patrick Williams is still very bright and he has to keep on pushing. The player of the game is obviously DeMar DeRozan. I mean, what can you say? 46 points in tonight's game. I think guys like Nikola Vucevic really made an impact in that fourth quarter, making a lot of threes. Again, I still don't think he's being that really big paint production player in terms of the offense, but his 3 shots are falling. It was falling in today's game, and it was very timely threes as well. He's an all-star, and he made a difference in this game. We could have walked away with the win. I do also want to say that I don't think Zach LaVine is doing enough on the floor, and I know he's recently coming back from injuries and stuff like that. It's going to take a little bit of time to get to 100%, and we have to be patient. It's not even 10 games into the season, and well, it kind of is now 10 games. We're 5-5, so it is 10 games into the season. But yeah, it's going to take some time for, I guess, Zach LaVine to get back to 100%, or at least 100% in terms of fitness, because he may be 100% healthy, but he still has to get accustomed to the fitness levels and, of course, a very tough schedule. I think Zach LaVine needs to do more, and I'm just going to say that. But, of course, I'm going to give him more time to get more opportunities to do more as well. The Bulls' record is 5-5. Again, back to a 500 record. I think this week so far has been a positive one, winning both nights of a back-to-back and fighting very hard against Boston. Again, this team's probably very tired. This schedule is a bit of a crazy one that we're dealing with, and it's not going to get any easier, ladies and gentlemen. Our next game is against the Toronto Raptors. We versed the Toronto Raptors in preseason. I think we know what to expect from them. They're going to be tough. They're going to switch. They're going to play a little bit smaller than us as well. I don't think we're going to have Andre Drummond for that game either. So at the end of the day, we're probably going to see a small ball lineup as well. And I think that will play in Toronto's hands as well. So I hope we use our bigger bodies. But judging by this game and judging by our next game, I highly doubt we will see Tony Bradley play in this type of game. And again, it is frustrating, and I don't really like the use of constant small ball. I think it can work in spades of the game, but I don't want to see our backup rotation of just small ball. We have to learn to adapt, and that's something that I am going to, I guess, target Billy Donovan for doing. He has to adapt to the game. When you see a 7-footer like Luke Cornett play, he makes a difference in the game. You chuck on Tony Bradley. You have to do it. I know he's not the best center out there in the world, and maybe we waive him and we get somebody else. If you're not going to play a 7-footer when we need a 7-footer, at least waive the guy and go and get someone that can play, because it is very frustrating to know that he's there, but he's not being used when we need him. So again, a bit of a frustrating loss. I think you can kind of tell where my head is at, but I will credit the Bulls for keep on fighting. And again, hopefully we could get a win against the Toronto Raptors. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.